Talking a lot about cybersecurity these days, and there is a virtual weapon of mass destruction threatening our way of life with really, what is the click of a mouse or something else. According to an Energy Department report, the U.S. electric grid is in, quote, imminent danger of cyber attacks. It points out the devastating impact of such a digital danger, including putting millions of lives in danger, not to mention a major hit on the U.S. economy. The report also makes dozens and dozens of recommendations on how we can protect ourselves, the price tag reaching into the $500 billion mark. Let's talk about this with Morgan Wright, a cybersecurity analyst and a senior fellow at the Center for Digital Government. So, Morgan, a lot here to unpack.
Yes.
To talk about this in the dead of winter, though, is timely, isn't it? Because it's one thing for the electric grid to go down whenever, the weather's nice. It's another thing when it goes down now. What do you think is the biggest vulnerability to the system?
Jenna, if you think about this, almost a year to the date, you and I talked about the Black Energy attack, the first successful one in Ukraine, Kiev, Ukraine. It's almost a year to the date we talked about this. It happened December 23rd. So I don't, it's one of those things is this the wrong time to have it happen? Absolutely. But any time is the wrong time, and why it took us so long to get to this point to be worried about this. We should have been worried about this 10 years ago.
And review for us, Morgan, what happened in Ukraine? Because that is being referenced a lot with this report, right. And we obviously don't live there. So what happened in Ukraine that was so dangerous and so scary, quite frankly?
And this was only one power station with two substations. Attackers came in. They'd already been in there using a package called Black Energy, a malware that has been present. That was the package that was found on the Vermont laptop, the utility company up there. What they were able to do, these attackers ran a coordinated campaign. They shut down the main power station, the substations. They even turned off the backup power to the substations. They took over the complete infrastructure, and they shut off power to probably 700,000 people, about 250,000 homes, during one of the coldest parts of winter.
How do we make sure that doesn't happen here?
Look, I was on the O'Reilly Factor last Thursday, and we were talking about the amount of money Donald Trump talks about spending $1 trillion. We should be spending at least 10% of that, $100 billion of that, to improve our aging technology infrastructure, our IT infrastructure. We need to improve things. We talked about the Office of Personnel Management hack, 21 million records. That infrastructure was so old it couldn't even be protected. Same thing with the energy grid. But, Jenna, one thing missing in this, we keep talking about the technology. The main reason a lot of this happens is because of people, the spear phishing emails. We've got to invest in our people and training our people and creating awareness just as much as we invest in building out the technology.
That was one of the most stunning things in the report, that just another simple email with some malware could cause electricity to just completely go down for millions of people, potentially.
Right. Well, what happened in Ukraine is it was a spear phishing email designed to look like it came from the Ukrainian parliament. They opened up an Excel file that says, hey, do you want to enable macros? Folks, if you get an email out there that says, do you want to enable macros, you need to delete that thing and get it off your systems. That one email, Jenna, allowed them to circumvent it, to actually circumvent all the protections they had in place and actually penetrate the system, take over, and shut down all those homes.
What about backups to the system? Because we know there's going to be human error. We're all capable of it. It's going to happen, but we can have, backups to make sure that it doesn't get so bad. How do we do that?
Well, backups work good if you have something like, say, ransomware attacks, where it holds your data hostage, like what happened to Hollywood Presbyterian or MedStar. But in this case, what they took control of were live operational systems, to where their backups, they were locked out of their backups. Why? Because the attackers got in and changed all the passwords in all of the machines, so they logged them out. And when the employees went to log back in, they were locked out of their own machines. So what they have to do is they have to have better safeguards in place, better systems. They need to have systems that are segmented between what are called DMZ, demilitarized zones, and really operate these things in secure enclaves. But the problem is, Jenna, everything's tied together in one pot, so if you can get into that one pot, you can get to everything.
It's scary every time we talk about it, Morgan, and then it goes, go through my own mind. What do I depend on the electricity for? It's everything, from my baby monitor to my phone to the refrigerator. I mean, every single thing. So what's your advice to our viewers that are watching today about how to protect themselves?
Look, I will boil it down to basically my fundamentals. Look, you can give somebody a helmet and shoulder pads, but that doesn't mean they're qualified to be in the NFL. You've still got to do training. So it's about encrypting all of your data. Make sure you use very strong passwords. You put that out on your Facebook page, the one time, the free course I came up with. That's something very important. Use a virtual private network, and whatever you do, back up your data. So if anything happens, if we just do fundamentals and don't click on emails that you don't know where they come from, or they're claiming to give you something, or if you see a link that comes in a social media or your email that says, hey, enable macros, or open up this document and you don't know who it came from, folks, you got to quit doing that, quick clicking on things. I promise you, Jenna, worlds will not end if you don't answer that message in Facebook.
Sometimes
or
it
that
feels
email.
that way. When it's from you, Morgan, I got to make sure it's you, authentic Morgan Wright. Morgan, thank you very much. Some great advice and a scary topic. We'll continue to follow it. Thank you.